Hello everyone, welcome to Naxus Geopolitics. Today, we are witnessing a major shift in how European nations are engaging in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The diplomatic caution seems to have been set aside, as countries like France and Britain are now taking a much more active stance. When leaders like Macron or Starmer state that they are not mere mediators, but are firmly on the side of Ukraine, it signals a massive change in the geopolitical landscape. They are now actively involved in setting the strategic agenda. We are seeing reports that NATO has initiated a significant new project aimed at the vulnerability of strategic aviation bases. In fact, NATO has announced a competition with a prize of €250,000 to develop technologies that could effectively protect assets or neutralize military airfields without direct confrontation. The command has acknowledged that existing tools, like artillery or standard drones, are not effective enough due to advanced electronic warfare systems. They are actively looking for autonomous systems that can work without GPS and strike multiple targets simultaneously. They want these projects implemented fast and are not considering anything that takes more than a year to develop. Just imagine for a moment if either side were to announce an open competition to destroy major elements of the other's nuclear triad. The global media would be in an uproar, discussing the intense risks of such a move. When such strategies are discussed, it highlights the high stakes for both sides. Strategic aviation bases, particularly those like the one in Engels, in the Saratov region, are now under the lens. This is not just a tactical exercise. It appears to be a broader plan to assess the defenses of multiple strategic airfields across the region. Military expert Yuri Knutov has noted that this possibility has been discussed at various levels for years, leading up to 2030. According to his analysis, the Ukraine-NATO cooperation could be a significant factor if existing security systems are not continuously upgraded. Recent reports mention that the Pentagon has been shown prototypes of electromagnetic systems. There are concerns that such technology could be deployed around airfields and activated strategically. Such developments are becoming increasingly complex, and it highlights the urgent need to rethink the security of critical infrastructure. Drone expert Alexei Chadayev recently provided his perspective, arguing that deploying air defense systems only within the perimeter of a protected object is no longer enough. He calls this approach the protection of the last resort. If an aerial target is intercepted directly above the base, the debris can still cause significant damage. The conclusion is clear. Security measures must be deployed well outside the protected perimeter, similar to how air and missile defense rings are positioned around major capital cities. The same logic must be applied to critical factories, military bases, and nuclear or hydroelectric plants. The experience in Ukraine has shown that the ability to conduct air operations from secure bases is one of the most critical factors in this conflict. They are looking for technologies that would manage the risk of aviation infrastructure, including runways, fuel depots, and ammunition storage being targeted. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense has clarified that they are inviting local military and tech companies, startups, and engineering teams to participate. While this seems logical from their strategic perspective, it is important to analyze the full impact. The potential disruption of strategic aviation is a major security challenge. Let us remember that both Russia and the US maintain complex nuclear triads. For example, the Tu-160 travels at twice the speed of sound, providing a massive advantage in range and deployment. To global observers, these strategic assets remain a central part of the security architecture. These aircraft take off from their bases, and once in the air, they are autonomous. Even if their home base is compromised, it would have no impact on the missile carriers already in the sky. This is the same logic that keeps top leadership in a doomsday plane rather than an underground bunker. Because the airspace above vast territories is difficult to control. It can be monitored by satellites, but striking it is a different story. If there is a hope that such threats have been neutralized, the temptation to escalate might increase. This is why there is such a focus on positioning defensive and offensive capabilities as close as possible to borders. The modernization of the two 160 bombers and the expansion of production clearly escalates the perceived security challenge for NATO. Therefore, the push to develop systems aimed at neutralizing these strategic airfields is a very serious development. If they are openly announcing competitions to address these bases, it shows how many other programs are currently being developed to target critical infrastructure. Security needs are evolving, and a whole range of critical objects is at stake. The situation is intensifying, and this must be taken into account. At Naxus Geopolitics, we will keep monitoring this escalation. It is clear that the strategic environment is becoming more volatile. What are your thoughts? Is this competition pushing us toward a global standoff? Let us know in the comments below.